We're all here. I'd like to call the meeting to order. This is the Village of Red Hook monthly board meeting, also with a public hearing, and we are going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Hang on this way, we can see everybody. There we go. All right, the first order of business is to approve the minutes from the June 22nd workshop meeting. Everyone should have had those in your packet. May I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Thank you, Brent. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Charlie. Any edits, discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that's done. All right, we are now going to go into a public hearing. And this is a public hearing for a local law to amend the official zoning map of the Village of Red Hook and define sales room of shops of a builder, contractor, or artisan, or to clarify that definition. I need a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Thank you, Brent. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Charlie. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Aye.
So the public hearing is open, and this is an opportunity, and I see, would you like to speak? Please. Come on up to the podium, and there should be a microphone. It just needs to be turned on.
I just wanted to know I need a definition of the definition, because the definition is not clear.
Want me to read it for you? Got it?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm happy that it does.
So
All right, so Brent's going to read the definition.
definition is from Section 3, subsection B of Section 200-5 of the zoning law, entitled Definitions. The new definition, sales room or shops of a builder, contractor, or artisan, a place where no more than 5 artisans, woodworkers, metalsmiths, or other craftspersons engage in the manufacture of specialty items, art, or goods, in which includes a showroom or retail space open to the public.
Yes. It's not clear to me what that means. Because you have sales room or shop of a...
Can you use your microphone, please? Thanks.
It doesn't work.
Those are the lights on off.
Is it okay now?
Closer to the microphone a little bit.
I guess, what do you mean by sales room or shop of a builder, contractor, or artisan? Because you have a dash there that I'm not sure why the dash is there. Then it talks about what I think is an artisan, a place where no more than 5 artisans. So it starts talking about artisans. So why is the dash there? Are we just talking about artisans then?
No, it says a place where no more than 5 artisans, woodworkers, metalsmiths, or other craftsperson engage in the manufacture of specialty items, art, or goods, and which includes a showroom or retail space open to the public.
Right.
And
So
I believe
those are artisans.
that's intended to be for a builder, contractor, or artisan.
But a builder or a contractor doesn't have a showroom.
They can. It depends on the kind of contracting work that's done.
Right, but it might not. And it says here, which includes,
Well, it does say sales room or shop,
which includes.
Retail space.
which includes a showroom or retail space. So you can have retail space
Or not,
or a showroom,
or not.
or it doesn't fall under this definition. I mean,
Well-
I think the idea to clarify this definition is you can have a sales room or a shop.
Or my question is, or not.
Well,
You don't
the
have
idea
to.
behind the definition is to say this is what is required in order to fall under this definition of use that is allowed within this zoning district.
Okay, so if there was a plumber there, they would have to have a showroom?
Or a retail space,
Well, then it's not.
or a sales room.
But then it's not.
Then
a
maybe it's not
plumber.
meant for a plumber.
Well, he is a contractor.
But this is defining the type of contractor that would be allowed.
So a
So it's
plumber-
not meant to say, just because we use the word contractor, that everyone who might be considered a contractor. This is clarifying the definition around what type of contractor is allowed in this zone.
Then could you clarify what type of contractor would be allowed?
I mean, I think the general notion of having a definition is to provide the framework within which others come and do their business.
So
Give me a few examples.
The
because I
definition-
need to rent the space.
the definition includes artisans, woodworkers, metalsmiths, or other craftspersons engaged in the manufacture of specialty items, art or goods.
But that's not a contractor. My question is regarding contract.
Well, it can be a contractor. So you can be contracted to do a special type of ironwork.
Cabinetry.
Yes.
That is a type of contractor that falls under this definition.
Plumber be there? Can an electrician be there if they don't have a shop? Well, if they have a shop, a plumbing shop, but not a retail space. Where would the retail space be?
I think the plumber would have to go to the general business district
And then he could keep his trucks there?
if it follows whatever stipulations are required within this general business district.
Well, my lots have, it's for contractors with trucks. Like, my husband had a plumbing business there. They had trucks there. He didn't have a showroom or a retail space. That's a plumbing supply store.
This is a different zone now. We've rezoned that area. So it used to be a highway business district, and it's now a gateway business district. So the definitions, the setbacks, the uses, they've all been amended and revised. And that's been approved and passed based on public hearings and public notice.
So then, what I'd like to know is, who can I rent to? Because it's,
This isn't the only definition of,
Or the only use.
I'm sorry, the only use within the area. There is a whole list of definitions or possible uses that is in the zoning law. This is just clarifying this definition as it was intended.
So within this zoning law there, and as is most zoning laws, there, in this particular district, there's permitted uses, accessory uses, and special permitted uses. And those are all listed under this new zoning district that we've created.
yeah.
So there's multiple uses in that. It's not just
Yes,
confined
I
to.
have read that. I know you said greenhouses, there was a whole bunch of things listed. But it's, my properties there are really geared towards, they have the parking lots. I mean, I just feel that you've really limited who I can rent to, and I just think it's very unfair. Like, you're taking away my income. So that's what I want to say.
Well, I appreciate you coming. I mean, it's certainly not our intention to do that. What our job is to create the boundaries, the framework for the type of businesses in the area that we believe, and this is why we have had the public hearings when we made the change to the zoning, so that we create the kind of village that, and we encourage the kind of businesses that we believe that the village is wanting to be.
And I understand that, but I just want to stand up for the small business, the people who are just trying to make a living, that really have caused no harm to the area, and basically they cannot work in the village anymore. What happened to the local plumbing shop, the local electrician? I mean, where do they go?
We have a local electrician right now that's on East Market Street.
And he has his trucks there and everything, and, I mean,
I don't know if
you're
that-
talking about general business. This is a different, this was zoned, when I bought the property, it was zoned highway business, and we bought the property mainly because of that zoning. And to have that zoning taken away from us, it really takes my income, and it's not fair. Now, what can I do with these two barns that I have? I just want you to realize that there are, repercussions to these decisions that are made, and people get hurt, and I'm one of them. Thanks.
I have a question.
You can ask.
I just wondered about, can you apply for a variance? And therefore, get to the microphone.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was just when I'm listening to it, and, with the planning board, I know you could always apply for a variance if something, was a little bit different. And that was my question. Could she apply for a variance?
You can apply for a use variance, so that would go through the zoning board. There are certainly options for making a proposal that would be outside of the obvious of what is in the zoning law.
Yeah.
That is correct.
I doubt they do. They think everything is pretty much set.
Is there anyone else who would like to make comment during this public hearing? Is there anyone on Zoom? All right, with that, with no more public comment, I need a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Thank you, Brent. A second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Charlie. All in favor?
I have a question.
Wait, sorry. We'll take that back. Comment, discussion?
So on the Village of Red Hook local law number C, is that correct? C?
It becomes a number once it gets passed, and then it
Okay.
becomes the next number in the queue. It will be number 3, yes.
Okay.
That was Victoria.
Thank you.
So there's a motion on the table to close the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. So the next order of business for us would be to discuss among the trustees about this amendment to the zoning, or to this local law, which is currently listed as number C. And there are two aspects to it, just to remind. There's the correcting of the zoning map. There were multiple parcel numbers that were incorrect, and so those have been corrected on this amended zoning map. And then the other was to clarify the definition of the sales room, of the section to define the use of sales room or shops of a builder, contractor, or artisan. The other part was there were two spots where the minimum size of an apartment was indicated, and one area was 600 square feet, and another was 500. And so we have clarified in both places that it will be 600 square feet as the minimum apartment size, consistent throughout all of the zoning districts. Those are the three things that we do with this zoning, with this local law. Does anyone have any comments, questions, issues?
No.
With that, I will take a motion to pass the local law.
Do we need a resolution?
We need a resolution, and we have
So
a
we have
resolution.
This one here, you want to read mine? We
Apologies.
closed the public hearing.
We
right?
did close the public hearing, yes, we did. A meeting of the Village of Red Hook was convened in public session at Village Hall on July 11th, 2022. The meeting was called to order by Mayor Smythe, and upon roll being called, the following were present, which is all 4 trustees plus the mayor. The resolution to adopt a local law to amend the official zoning map of the Village of Red Hook and define sales room or shops of a builder, contractor, or artisan. Whereas a proposed form of a local law entitled "A Local Law to Amend the Official Zoning Map of the Village of Red Hook and Define Sales Room or Shops of a Builder, Contractor, or Artisan" has been submitted to the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Red Hook, and whereas the proposed local law would correct typographical errors on the zoning map with respect to certain tax parcel numbers and provide a definition for a use that is already permitted in the Gateway Business District, whereas pursuant to Section 239M of the General Municipal Law, the proposed local law was referred to the Department of Planning and Development for its review and report thereon, which responded on July 11th, 2022, that it was a matter of local concern. And whereas pursuant to 6 NYCRR 617.C26, routine or continuing agency administration and management, not including new programs or major recording of priorities that may affect the environment, is a Type 2 action under the State Environmental Quality Review Act. And whereas a duly noticed public hearing was held on July 11th, during which all of those who wished to speak were heard, whereas the village board finds that it is in the best interest of the village to adopt the proposed local law, now therefore be it resolved by the board as follows. The board hereby adopts the proposed local law as local law number 3 of 2022, that the village clerk be and she hereby is directed to enter the said local law in the minutes of this meeting and in the village code of the Village of Red Hook to give due notice of the adoption of said local law to the Secretary of State of New York and take all other actions as may be required by law. I don't think I need to read the rest of that, do I? I think that's it. The rest is just the certificate of recording officer. Would someone like to make a motion to approve, to approve this, to adopt this resolution? Thank you.
So moved.
Thank you, Brent. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Charlie. Any discussion, questions?
Can I, if there was a plumber in this area, they could have a sales room where they could sell some items, and that would constitute still, right? You would need to have an open room for the public to come and shop for some items.
As stated, they would need to have a showroom or retail space.
But let's say that they were a plumber and there was certain hardware that they like to
Or
install.
types of,
They could have them on display, and that could,
they could.
so that is a way that someone, like a plumber, could be able to have a space.
And this would also be under review of the planning and/or zoning board, so they're the ones that make that kind of decision, and what we're doing is
But we're not
legislating the
saying
law.
we're not saying that a plumber can't have a space in that area. We're saying that we want to have it a more active space where people can go in and there'll be more foot traffic, right? That's the
Right.
hope, to encourage that.
Right, if you read the definition of the new Gateway Business District, the intention of that district is laid out. So if the planning board and/or the zoning board decides that that particular business, whether a plumber or not, fits within the definition and the intention of the new zoning district, then would have to go through that process and seek approval by that board.
And I think that the change, even just in the name, I think gives a sense of the flavor of, in the past, Red Hook was very much of a pass-through. So there was a lot of, highway business district made sense. And what we're trying to do is to create a sense of you're entering into the village, giving, if you think about just the flavor of what you're arriving into, if it's a gateway rather than a highway business district. So I would say that a plumber doesn't fit square in the middle of what was intended, but it's certainly within the parameters of what have been described and laid out. Again, it's the planning board that would make that determination based on all the details that would come with what business was being proposed.
Got it. So when a landlord rents to a tenant, it has to go through the planning board too?
Yes, they would need a site plan.
Got it. Okay, so that's,
Site plan and site plan review by the planning board. And if the planning board, and normally if it's thought immediately that it's going to be not fit within, and thus a use variance would need to be required, that is what would go to the zoning board. The zoning board would make a determination, and then it would go back to the planning board
got it.
for the site plan review. Any other questions? Comments? No? Okay, all in favor? Well, let me do a roll call on that. Charlie?
Aye.
Melcorca?
Aye.
Brent?
Yes.
Declan?
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. Thank you. I do thank you for coming. We appreciate your comments. All right, so the next order of business, we have our village engineer, Delaware Engineering, has received 4 proposals, I believe, for underground locates of water mains in the northeast quadrant of the village. Just to explain, part of what we are working on is to increase our knowledge of our water system. Sections of our water system are very old, and go ahead, Brent.
Just to back up a little bit, what was the resolution number of the resolution we just passed?
That would be number 12.
Number 12.
Thank you. Sorry.
No problem. Thought you were going to help me out here. So we have been working with our village engineer on our water system to increase our specific and precise knowledge of our water valves, our location of pipes, size of pipes, et cetera. So we had asked Delaware Engineering to receive proposals to locate water mains in the northeast quadrant of the village, which is an area that is quite old, and our maps are not fully accurate. And so there were 4 proposals ranging in price from $4,500 to $32,000. And Delaware recommends that we approve the proposal from New England, hang on,
Subsurface imaging.
thank you, which is the low bidder of $4,500. It's ground penetrating radar, and we believe this would add significantly. We do have money in the budget for this. I don't know if do we need to approve this?
No.
I don't know that we need to vote on it, but
Just some extra stuff here. New England Subsurface also did our southeast quadrant. Most of it. They have to come back and finish it up. But also with this particular proposal, they will be doing mains, hydrants, valves located in the town of Red Hook, east of the village, near Orlick Road. So those will all be mapped, and those are all part of the village water system. Although those ones out east of the village are not in the water district, since they're not in the village. So, but we do
service
sell
them.
water to those people.
So I guess we're informing you that we will proceed with that project because we have it's in the budget. Any questions?
Is there a reason why, oh, I'm sorry, Declan, were you?
I just don't have a question.
Oh.
Please, Bob.
Is there a reason why there was such a huge disparity between the quotes? Just labor or with?
I think there are a couple of reasons, and we've actually worked with the low bidder before. He's a small shop, and he does it all himself. So the others may also have a lot of work, and it ends up being, sometimes you throw out a number that you'll take it at that, but you don't really want to do the work either. But that's all, again, this is a wonderful example of why you get multiple bids,
Yes.
because it can vary significantly.
Sometimes the low bidder is the best option.
Sometimes the low bidder is the best option, is that what you said?
Sometimes.
Let's hope.
Often that is the case. What's that?
I said, let's hope.
Yes. No, as I say, we have worked with this company before, and and as has Delaware Engineering.
There's a series of maps that are being developed, and also that information and data will be included on a electronic format on a tablet that our highway foreman could use, and when they make repairs, they'll be able to locate these things, which are going to be located on GPS, and also document what repairs have been made and that kind of thing. So this is part of an ongoing inventory system of our assets that we're trying to organize a little bit better so we can keep better track on just general routine maintenance.
Okay, the next item is related to, in our 21-22 budget, in the general fund, we had budgeted $2,500 for the highway reserve, $2,500 for the police reserve, and $2,500 for the fire reserve. We need to formally approve putting those monies into those reserves. It is probable that I need to have a formal resolution, so I am going to tell you that it is a resolution to formally put that money into those reserves,
That's highway, police.
highway, police, and fire.
Okay.
The finance team of our treasurer, Ray Toll, our controller, Michelle Zagorski, and I have met several times, and we have started work on the year-end project. As projected, the year-end for the general fund will be a deficit, but that deficit will be lower than the excess from the year before. I believe, and also in discussions with Deputy Mayor Kowalczyk, I believe that we should be in the habit and stay in the habit of putting monies away into reserves. So I think that we should approve putting this money into reserve. So I guess I'm going to make a motion that we resolve to put those funds into those three reserves. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any questions, issues, concerns, despite the fact I'm still working on my process here? No, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, good. I have one budget adjustment for tonight, and apologies, I didn't make copies, but this one's very simple. We have, in the water fund, there is a line item for the USDA Phase 1 interest, and in the budget, it is listed as $21,000, and the specific amount came in, and completely on me that I did not look up what the number is. We knew it in advance, but it is $460.93 higher than $21,000. So I would like to make the following budget adjustment, that we increase the USDA Phase 1 interest line item, which is EW 9710.72, by the $460.93. And that, to counter that we would reduce the water repairs budget, which is 8320.47. Laura, I'm going to give this to you after. The current budget is at $80,000, and so just to reduce that budget by the $460.93. May I?
May I ask a question?
You may.
The interest is interest paid to the USDA?
Yes, this is related to the Phase 1 water project that was done 5 years ago, Brent?
More than that, but it's a loan that we
It's a
took out.
loan from the
Yeah,
federal government, and they collect interest on it?
absolutely.
Cool. Like a bank?
Just like a bank.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a 38-year term, and I believe the interest rate was, I don't remember what, 1.5 something, 1.6% for a 38-year term. So once a year, they send us a bill for interest, which we budget for, and also for principal.
Okay, but we hadn't budgeted for it?
No, we budgeted for it. I just didn't budget for I did a
increase.
round number, and I didn't include the $460.
There's an
That's-
apportionment schedule that's issued by the bond council that states how much we pay in interest and principal per year based on what we paid before.
Oh.
So it's just a matter of kind of aligning those numbers with our budget
So there's a
numbers.
little bit of variance year to year?
Yeah, it changes a little bit.
Okay. It sounds good to me.
All right, so I need a motion to make those budget adjustments.
So moved.
Thank you, Declan. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Brent. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
And that would be number 13. I'll have one of
Thank you. All right, the next meeting, the next workshop is July 28th. I will actually be out of town. I am happy to call in I know that Jen would like to talk about our water rates, and basically to recodify the water rates that we are charging into the minutes, if you will, and just to review those. And so I just wanted to confirm that you all are okay with meeting on the 28th. If you recall, we changed our meeting to Thursday nights so that we didn't conflict with the Board of Education meetings.
Yep.
You guys all right with that? Okay. And then our next regular board meeting is
What's the day of the meeting?
July
You
28th.
hold them upstairs, right?
We hold them upstairs,
Okay.
yes. That's, if we have a conflict with the planning board, zoning board, we'll be in two separate spots. There doesn't appear to be a perfect evening to meet. So the next regular village board meeting is August 8th. Okay, now we get into our regular reports. And Treasurer Toll, you're up.
Okay, I guess it is working. Yes, the account balances as of the end of June 2022 were as follows. The general fund, $1,446,506.33. We now have almost 92% of the property tax revenue for fiscal year 2022-23. And that's why the number has increased between the end of May and the end of June. In the water fund, $163,928.41. Trust and agency, $29,052.07. Sewer fund, $4,460.63. Hardscrabble, $17,410.39. We've had donations from local businesses of approximately $6,590.
Just to clarify, those are sponsorships for
Sponsorships.
the upcoming Hardscrabble Day.
Okay, sorry, wrong word. Sponsorships. Village Green, $5,603.92. We've had over $1,000 donated in memory of Lisa Latte Burke. She must have been a wonderful person to have as a neighbor and as a resident of the village, and she did a lot for the village in terms of the green, keeping it green.
And Ray, does that number also include the money we received for the 2 new benches at Abraham's Park?
Yes, it
Okay.
does.
Thank you.
Health insurance, $5,304.49, and petty cash, $62.78. In terms of the reserve checking balances, they are as follows. Fire Department, $5,033.89. Police, $14,586.75. USDA, $134,047.92. Highway, $30,585.46. Snow Reserve, $3,279.69. Tower Reserve, $17,712.45. Unemployment, $4,544.40. Court Reserve, $3,298.78. And Office Reserve, $972.58. Our total monthly expenses for the monthly June were as follows. In the general fund, $245,556.38. Water fund, $50,201.91. Trust and agency, $1,387.35. And sewer, $717,344.80. That is the report, the Treasury's report for the month of June.
Thank you very much, Ray. I always forget, we need a motion to accept the financial, the treasurer's report.
So moved.
Thank you, Brent. Second?
Seconded.
Thank you, Declan. Any questions? I just want to clarify for the sewer in terms of monthly expenses, that's related to the construction project. That is not a regular ongoing expense number. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Thank you, Ray. Get us back in view. Okay. All right. Next is the mayor's report. And I actually wrote something up, amazingly enough. Starting with the police report. The report that I'm going to give related to the police department is we have updated our Police Pro software, and that is our incident information management system. This is something that is budgeted. I believe we spoke about it before. This is the first upgrade to this software in quite a few years. The county MIG grant that we got last year enabled us to upgrade our computers and our servers, and that is enabling us to actually upgrade this software. And so we are in the process, and it has new features, and there's some training that is required so that everybody's up to speed. And what we're all hoping is that we're going to learn about the types of reports that we can get that'll be easier to get, that will turn our data into information. And so that is the police report. And actually, the fire department, I did receive reports for all of 2021 that I think I've mentioned before, and for the first quarter of 2022. And what I wrote was I hope to receive the next set of reports shortly, and right before this meeting I did. So in the village of Red Hook, from January to the end of May 2022, there are a total of 82 incidents. It looks like there are a large number that are emergency medical EMS calls. I have not been able to break them out into groups, the type of calls, but it was 82 calls in the period of 5 months. So that is the fire report. Under personnel, I'm pleased to say that we have hired our new deputy clerk. We actually were fortunate to have a number of solid applications for the position. And so Anna Maria Gruntler-Bussey will start next Monday, July 18th. She will be working 15 to 20 hours a week, covering our office hours of 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. We are very excited to welcome her on board. She is also prepared as backup to cover meetings for us as well as needed. I did want to mention under something that I've been working on for the last several weeks. It was an audit of our outstanding escrow accounts and our escrow bank account. We are now in a position to close out some of our older project accounts, so we're in the process of doing that. The state also has made a change in terms of the accounting practices. We now need to account for all the escrow accounts as part of the general fund. So we should be in a good position to make those adjustments, and only those that are active and going forward. So I just want to say thank you to Lara and Ray and our controller, Michelle, for all their assistance in getting us to this point. And then the only other thing I just wanted to acknowledge was Jen's not here this evening, but she took on the responsibility of the water clerk after Greg Stolarik left in January, and she has done really a tremendous job. And she has conducted and continues to conduct an audit of all the accounts, and has been working with our water operator, C3ND, and our own crew, led by Jake Smith, to make adjustments, fix or replace waterheads where needed. So that work is ongoing. And also we have placed an order for the upgrade to our meter reading software, which is in the budget. We did talk about that during the budget season. The timing for that is 3 to 4 months, so we'll either have it right before the next billing period, or we'll do it right before the end of the year. I do want to take this moment just to mention that no property owner should be operating the water valve at the curb stop without permission from the village. So if anyone has any issues with their water of any kind, you want to turn your water off, please call the water department, and that is the main village number, so 845-758-1081. It's very important that we do this in coordination. That is the way we will be able to best service all of our water customers. And so that is my report. Next is Deputy Mayor Kowalczyk.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll start with the Village Green Committee monthly report. The current balances of the Village Green Committee's related budget accounts as of June 30th, 2022 are as follows. Community beautification, $4,000. Shade tree contractual, $12,000. And the Village Green Committee checking account, as reported by our treasurer, is $5,603.92. There were no Village Green Committees meetings held during the month of June. The Highway Department, with confirmation by our arborist and the Village Green Committee, has prepared a list of trees to be removed and/or pruned. Trees included on this list may create hazardous conditions for both vehicular and pedestrian safety. Trees included to be removed are as follows, and instead of reading the list, I'll just give general locations. This will be on our website, so those could check. Blue Echo Road at East Market Street, several on East Market Street, 2 on Fifth Street,
One.
one on Fifth Street, one corner of Garden Street and Phillip Street, Benner Road, 2 on Benner Road, 2 on the intersection of Park Avenue and Old Post Road, 1 on Cherry Street, and 1 on North Broadway. So I get 12 trees on that.
Yeah, I just want to highlight the 2 dying maples at the end of Park Avenue at Old Post Road. For those who see leaves on those trees are actually hollow, and they are right at at both corners, and there really is a risk of them falling into the road. They will be sad. It will be sad to see those go, but the opportunity is to. That's why the Village Green Committee plants new trees. But just want to highlight those 2, because those will be, for those of us who live over there, those will be very noticeable. I would also like to just point out, there is also a dead maple in Memorial Park, and Dave's Tree Service has offered to take that down as a donation in honor of our veterans and servicemen, so service people. So just a big thank you to Dave's Tree Service.
And that wasn't included on the list?
That is not included on the list. Do you want the dollar amount?
Not yet.
Okay.
With the list, there was also the trees to be routinely trimmed and pruned at the village right-of-ways to a height of 16 feet, which is a requirement by the Federal Highway Administration, which is adopted by the New York State Department of Transportation, and those are the laws that our Highway Department follows. So these will include the entire east side of the village, Gray Street, Margaret Street, Elizabeth Street, Thompson Street, Firehouse Lane, Eldridge Lane, Tower Street, Cherry Street, Fifth Street, Bird Street, and Bassett Lane. And we did receive estimates from Dave's Tree Service for both tree removal and tree pruning. The removal costs came to $6,650. Again, no charge for the one on Memorial Park. And for the pruning is $1,500 per day. The estimated would take 2 days, total of $3,000. So a total of $9,650 will be allocated and spent for removal and pruning. And this will come from shade tree contractual budget line number 8560.4. And we just got handed a...
Just to clarify, in which we have a budget of $12,000.
Right. And so that's the price of that. We also received money which was included in our Village Green checking account, which is on hold until our benches are delivered. We got an order for 2 benches with memorial plaques that have been purchased by village residents. A 3rd bench may be purchased in the near future. These benches will be placed on concrete pads installed by the Village Highway Department and located along the west side near the Sawkill Creek at Richard M. Abrahams Memorial Park. And with that proposal, we had kind of placed 7 trees, and just so happens coincidentally there was a grant opportunity that came up from the New York State Urban Forestry Council Tree City USA Reward Grant Program. And this is a small resolution, which I don't know if you want to take care of this now, or...
Sure. Did you give that to me, or is that mine?
Yeah, I think Lara got...
Ah, yep.
I wrote it.
So this will be put into a regular format, but this will be the...
So this is a resolution to accept the grant funding.
This is more, yeah, this is more or less a acknowledgement by the Board of Trustees that we approve of the Village Green Committee sending this grant application out and what it'll be used for. So this is a reimbursement grant that requires no match. The application requests funding not to exceed $1,000, which is the maximum amount available, to plant a grove of trees in Abrahams Park that will surround the benches that have been donated by the Richard Abrahams family. In addition to the planting, the village must also hold an event to celebrate the community's Tree City USA status and ongoing community forest program. And I'd like to make that into a motion.
Yes, to support the application for this grant.
Yes.
Excellent. May I have a second?
I second that.
Thank you, Declan. Any questions?
Just to clarify, the grove is because of the grant, or the grove was requested by the family?
There were two uses for this grant, either a large specimen tree or a grove of trees.
Okay.
So we looked at various sites in the village, including, Memorial Park, which is pretty much planted out. There was a grove of cherry trees on the Old Post Road side. If you see them in the springtime, there's about 7 or 8 trees there. That's something we had in mind around the benches there, just to kind of do a foreground, and because there's a bunch of trees located along the river there. So just a nice, give it scale where the benches are, a little shade, and also some color in the spring. So that's what the Village Green decided to look at and submit for.
Memorial Park,
This will be at Richard Abrahams Park.
Abrams Park.
Yeah, something similar to this is currently at Memorial Park.
Okay, and the cherries aren't currently there?
Not at Abrahams Park, they are at Memorial Park.
Okay, but we have funding to
That's
acquire the cherries?
that's the purpose of the grant.
Okay.
So if we get the grant, it could buy us 6 or 7 trees, so.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
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 And just one more thing on the Village Green, residents and/or businesses interested in having trees or a tree planted on their adjacent village or state right-of-way, volunteering for planting days, or making a contribution to support the Village Green Committee's various community beautification projects may contact David Pearson, the village clerk, or myself. The Village Highway Department monthly report for the month of June. The Village Highway Department is currently picking up brush every first and third Monday of the month, and that's schedule and weather permitting. Sometimes they don't make it around till Tuesday, but they do pick it up. And residents are reminded to place lawn debris, leaves, and brush in separate piles, and please limit piles to 6 feet by 6 feet by 6 feet, with tree branches no longer than 6 inches in diameter. Brush that includes tree trunks, stumps, garbage, or construction material will not be picked up, and neighbors are encouraged to share a brush pile. This will make pickup easier and quicker. And please limit your brush pile to 1 pile per household per month.
Is that per month or per pickup?
Per pickup. So you can have 2 piles per month.
There you go.
On the first and the third Monday?
Yep. The Village Highway Department is preparing a list of projects to be financed in whole or in part by the CHIPS, Pave New York, and Extreme Weather Winter Recovery Fiscal Year 2022-23 apportionment and rollover balances. Lists of projects and estimates are forthcoming for review and approval by the Village Board of Trustees. And the balances were mentioned in the May 2022 Highway Department monthly report and are available online for those. We have a balance, I believe, well over $100,000 on those.
I believe so.
The Village Highway Department is seeking estimates for cleaning village streets, street dry wells, and catch basins. A total of $15,000 is available, $10,000 from the maintenance of street catch basin culvert, and $5,000 from the maintenance of street maintenance budget lines. Revenue from the sale of scrap metal was received on June 8th in the amount of $627.20. And this was the first revenue generated this fiscal year. Since the inception of the scrap metal recycling program in September of 2007, $43,863.46 has been generated. Proceeds from this program go toward the purchase of tools and equipment for the village highway, water, and materials management departments. Residents and businesses interested in donating scrap metal may contact the village highway department at 845-758-8600 or the village clerk's office, and the highway department personnel will assist property owners by picking up scrap metal upon request. On to the Red Hook infrastructure and the intermunicipal task force. Monthly report, we only had one meeting this month for the Red Hook sewer project. Our regularly scheduled meeting, the last one of the month, was postponed due to the delivery of our wastewater treatment plant. So this was progress meeting number 14. I will not go into all the detail, but it will be posted online. I like to keep residents and people in the service area informed of what's going on. We did have the delivery of the major tank on June 28th. The Red Hook manager, there was a surge in flow equalization tanks on June 24th. The Red Hook Commons management was notified of delivery, and the delivery of the wastewater treatment plant occurred on the 28th. Those are the 2 dates. Red Hook Commons management was also notified of the delivery. Minor damage to mailboxes and fences occurred as the treatment plant was being maneuvered into place. I think Karen took some pictures. We got some pictures from the contractor included on your newsletter. This thing is quite large coming in, and it looks really nice in the ground right now. I was out there last Friday. The Village of Red Hook, I'll just give you an update on the budget real quick on this one too. So as of July 5th, our prime general contractor contract amount is $6,797,145. $6,797,145. The amount distributed as of July 5th, it was $1,836,322.19. Our prime electrical contractor, Sastos Contracting, their contract amount is $441,970. Let me start again. $441,974, and they've been dispersed reimbursement for $64,681.22. CT Mail, our engineer of record for the sewer project, contract amount $848,025.50, and so far they've been dispersed $685,245.80. So we're on our way. Just want to keep you posted as where the money's going. The Village of Red Hook Water Distribution System Maintenance and Improvement Project and the Sewer Service Area Procedures or Protocol. We had a meeting on June 10th at the Village Building with our representatives from Delaware Engineering, our highway foreman, the mayor, and myself. And we were reviewing the leaks, list of leaks to be repaired, which we have gotten from another project, a leak survey conducted a year and a half ago. And so most of those leaks have been remedied. There's one that's going to be looked at again. We are trying to look at using a leak detection service that won't require any money on that, just to verify a leak that we have on Phillips Street and West Market. We're looking at the maps, which we brought up before. Progress maps were presented, locating service lines. mains, valves, hydrants. The curb stop valves are also being prepared as a map by Delaware Engineering. Delaware has been meeting with their village highway and water department just to kind of review the maps and discuss procedures and protocol for routine maintenance, repairs, and billings. Hydrants, I believe, started being flushed today, July 11th. Delaware Engineering has requested a flushing schedule, including dates and operations for the record. Delaware also will investigate options for village data maintenance, monitoring, plotting, and billing software. Meetings will be scheduled in July to review status and discuss protocol and procedures with the village highway, water department, and the clerk.
Brent, if I can just interrupt for a sec, just to clarify the hydrant flushing, that's, a lot of that has to do with just flushing out the pipes so that, just to maintain the clean water. So it may feel like it's wasted water, but it really isn't. This is part of the maintenance that is required to keep our water system, our clean water running.
And we were also at these meetings looking at stormwater management. There were 2 locations on Prince Street that have experienced issues managing stormwater runoff on their properties. Solutions have been discussed and will be implemented in the next months. One will include a paved swale to continue the water down to a dry well at an intersection of Phillips and Church Street. The second one between Phillips and Church Street will receive a new 6-foot diameter dry well as soon as we can get it in. It's been looked at and ordered, and it's on back order at this point. New meters will be installed at the former highway garage on Firehouse Lane and at Father Carroll Field off of Benner Road to monitor water usage at those sites. As of June 23rd, 18 total work orders to investigate and repair meters are open. On the intermunicipal task force side, we're on a hiatus right now. Both Charlie and I sit on that committee representing the village of Red Hook, and there were no meetings held during the month of June. Some of the other committees I represent the village in, there were no meetings of the Town of Red Hook Zoning Review Committee or the Community Preservation Fund Advisory Board. The current balance of the Community Preservation Fund as of June 30th is $2,876,280.59. It's almost $2 million more than when before COVID started.
Really?
The Northern Dutchess Alliance Executive Committee meeting had our first meeting since COVID. And Northern Dutchess Alliance Executive Committee was held on June 16th via Zoom. Representatives from Milan, Rhinebeck, Town of Red Hook, New York State Senate, and Hyde Park. And both Karen and I were representing the village of Red Hook, and we were just trying to catch up on what the Northern Dutchess communities were investigating, short-term rentals. Legislation had been adopted or being proposed by most municipalities. Resource extraction and resource protection is an issue in both Milan and Rhinebeck. Comprehensive plan updates and amendments are being considered to be studied by most municipalities that attended. Natural resources inventories are being proposed, and workforce and affordable housing options are being investigated. The Saltkill Watershed Community, there were no monthly meetings or no meetings held during the month of June. The Town of Red Hook Local Waterfront Revitalization Plan, or LWRP Working Group, met on June 6 via Zoom. Items reviewed included Section 4, which are the amendments to proposed land uses and proposed projects, including an overview, areas of concern, proposed land uses, proposed projects, existing authorities for underwater lands and navigable waters, and the harbor management plan. And we also reviewed the amended and proposed new maps at that schedule. We had a second meeting on June 16th via Zoom, where we looked at proposals to support grant applications regarding trails from farm roads to Montgomery Place farm stand. We also looked at pollinator meadow projects, safety concerns for trails along the Amtrak CSX rail lines, Blueberry trails into Tivoli Bays and Tivoli. These are trails in the waterways. Moorings at Rokeby, water chestnut removal programs of other LWRP communities, collaborative efforts between the town of Red Hook and the Village of Tivoli's LWRP working group committees, and updates on the electric cable project scheduled to begin in July under the Hudson River. And this will be taking place south of our area. The Village of Red Hook Zoning Review Committee, both Karen and I sit on that. A ZRC was assigned to develop short-term rental regulations for the Village of Red Hook at the June 22nd Trustees Workshop. We've begun doing research on neighboring municipalities, legislations and restrictions and regulations. The Village of Red Hook's Public Spaces Initiative, there were no meetings held during the month of June. Both Declan and myself are co-liaisons. And that's it.
Can I ask you a question, Brent? I'm sorry.
Sure.
The short-term rentals research that you guys have done so far, is there a way that you could share those laws with the rest of us?
No.
Just that,
Well, we're
Ones that you're-
we're
ones that
looking
you-
at
yeah.
current laws from the town of Red Hook, Rhinebeck, just to see what they've done. So those are already available publicly on.
oh, no, I know I could go look for them, but I was just wondering if you do have them.
Happy to, I
Yeah.
can send you that so you don't have to try and find them.
Thank you.
Yeah. I thought you were asking if we could send you what we've been working on.
No, just
we
the
haven't
actual
done
laws so that I can get up to speed on what the local, other municipalities
Yeah,
are doing.
that's all, they're all matter of public record at this time. And that's all I have, unless you have any more questions.
Thank you very much, Brent. Trustee Lang.
Yes, good evening. I have a couple of short reports tonight. Let me start off with the materials management report for the month of June, so the first month in the new fiscal year. On the recycling front, we collected 1.03 tons of commingled, 0.39 tons of cardboard, and 0.88 tons of paper for a total recycling collected of 2.8 tons. There were 6.88 tons of garbage collected and disposed of, and there were $1,194 of tags sold both here and at the library. And so total costs came to $818.12. That's the tipping fees and fuel surcharge. So it was a fairly light month on the materials management side of things, all told. We'll see how it plays out throughout the rest of the year. And on the positive side, no contaminated recycling, so that's always good to see. Then switching to the Village of Red Hook Water Treatment Facilities monthly report for the month of June. The water treatment facility treated 7,732,000 total gallons, which is an average of 257,700 gallons per day. I don't know if you can see that. That's the annual flow, average flow per day. So it's a little uptick. I would like to say that perhaps that was related to the hydrant flushings, but
No,
they
that's
aren't
not till July.
Right, I mean July 11th, yes.
So
So,
that'll be the answer for next month.
right.
We did fix a leak, several leaks.
Yes, actually, that's true.
Right.
So there was one on Elizabeth Street and East Market Street that we repaired, and there was one earlier in the month, I believe, in front of the post office on North Broadway.
Correct.
Okay. Yes, so we're definitely making progress on identifying and fixing those issues with the system. So, you know, I mean, it could be it was a hot, relatively dry month, and you got people starting to seriously water vegetable gardens and lawns and things. So
Maybe
we'll see.
filling a pool or two.
Yep. So there were 3 bacteriological samples were taken and tested, and all came back absent for coliform and E. coli. So that's excellent. And during the month of June, the water treatment plant used 75 gallons of sodium hypochlorite, and that comes to an average daily use of 2.5 gallons per day. And that is basically it. You mentioned some of those leaks and other work on the system that we are planning. I don't think there's really anything more to report.
All right, terrific, thank you. Trustee Caraval.
On a personal note, I just wanted to say that I think it's really nice that Lisa Burke's memory is going to be honored with trees. She was a really amazing gardener, so I'm glad that the village will be green in her honor. Okay, Red Hook Together did not meet for the month of July due to a scheduled summer break. Red Hook Together will be hosting a mixer on August 25th, 5:30 to 7 p.m. at the Red Hook Recreation Park Pavilion. Everyone is welcome to come, chat, mix, and mingle with no agenda in mind. The Red Hook Town Economic Development Committee. The committee meets every Wednesday over Zoom at 8:30 a.m. The EDC continues to work in progress on the town, work
To
check
get rid of
in
work,
with
yes.
progress. Sorry, I skipped a word. That's why I got confused.
Yeah, if you eliminate work, your sentence works.
Okay, progress on the town CDBG grant application. The BARD CCE intern has started to work on tasks for the EDC, and further detailed minutes of EDC meetings are available on the Town of Red Hook's website. The Village of Red Hook Communications Committee. The committee has now switched from weekly meetings to meeting the first Wednesday of each month at 1:30 p.m. at Village Hall Conference Room. July's meeting was postponed to July 13th due to a scheduling conflict. The mayor's newsletter went out to inboxes on July 1st, and we encourage any community members who are interested to sign up for the newsletter at redhookvillage.org/newsletter.
If I can just pipe in, the communication committee is now going to meet once a month, but I still meet with our BARD intern on the newsletter every week.
And there's lots of very interesting things in there, like pictures of the new sewer. So you can go to
Exciting
that.
stuff.
Yeah, you can go to that page if you want to see the archives.
Live for that
as well.
stuff.
Absolutely.
If you have any ideas of website features or communication methods you would like to see our communications committee investigate, please email me at mkjarval@redhooknyvillage.org. The Village of Red Hook Hardscrabble Events Committee. The Village Events Committee met June 27th at 6 p.m. in Village Hall. All the individual working groups for Hardscrabble shared out their progress for the Hardscrabble Music Festival. Also discussed was the newly expanded Halloween parade with human-powered floats. Interested in volunteering skills or time to the events committee, or perhaps your business would want to sponsor an upcoming event, contact Amy Melcorca, the mayor, or Jeff Walsh via the events committee email address, events@redhooknyvillage.org. The Village of Red Hook Human Relations Committee. The Human Relations Committee meets the first Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. over Zoom. This month's meeting was postponed from Thursday, July 7th to July 14th at 7 p.m. If you wish to attend or have an issue you would like brought to our attention, please contact me at mcaravel@redhooknyvillage.org. And finally, the Red Hook Public Library Report. Roof repair work has started at the library, and the library may have to be closed for several days in July for that project. Actually, it was open today while the work still continued, so.
It was open.
What?
It was open?
It was open, you just had to use the back door.
The driveway was,
Blocked off. Yeah, you weren't able to park there either.
but you could walk in.
Yes,
Oh.
through a side path.
Shoot, so my books are overdue.
no.
We did put that out on social media, but I
I
understand.
imagine you can get a waive maybe for your
Maybe.
overdue charges.
Yeah.
The Red Hook Public Library is exploring the possibility of using remaining grant money from the roof project to complete the HVAC system on the main floor. And the director of the library, Don Jardine, would also like to invite any members of the village board to come view the changes in the children's library, which will be nearing completion soon. And that's it.
Rumor has it there's a particularly good paint job that was done. Do you still have paint under your fingernails?
No, that's long gone, but I was up till 11:30 last night organizing the admin offices, so work
there you go.
continues.
Thank you. Now trustee Dwyer McNulty.
Yes, thank you. All right, here's a summary of zoning and planning activities in June 2022. There were 16 building permits issued, 2 certificates of occupancy, 5 certificates of compliance, and 4 municipal searches. There was 1 order to remedy, 0 stop work orders, 0 court appearances. There was 1 fire inspection at the senior housing complex, and there were 4 complaints. The planning board met on June 9th, 2022. They approved a site plan and a couple of signs and another site plan and a minor subdivision. I don't know if I should give the locations or.
It'll be,
I think they.
the report gets included.
Okay, great.
So I think that's okay.
So that's what they did. They approved of some site plans and signs. And then the zoning board of appeals met on June 23rd. They did not have an agenda. They approved of the April meeting's minutes. In terms of revenue, from building permits and applications, there was a total of $2,494.95 in permitting fees.
And was this with the new fees?
No,
Not yet.
Okay.
no, that would be next month.
Next month.
Couple maybe would be in there, but not too many.
Well, date-wise, when did, because we passed that
On the 15th,
on the 15th, so
so towards the end, those.
to 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 or 5. Great. Just shows the building department is humming.
Yeah.
I'll also just take the opportunity to mention that Declan and I are, I don't know, we'll have to come up with a good name for our committee, but we will be investigating the noise ordinance. The current noise ordinance in the village code was determined to be unconstitutional in the fall, and so Declan and I will be reviewing other municipalities to come up with a proposal. We'll be looking for public input once we've had a chance to do our research, et cetera. Okay. Anybody else have any other general business they'd like to discuss?
Just Lara, or can someone send that finalized resolution for the tree grant
Yes, I
to
made a note.
to Brenda Cagle?
Oh,
Because it's due on the 15th, so the sooner we can get it to her, the better. Thanks.
This is another opportunity or any other general business? For anybody? This is another opportunity for public comment. I don't see any public here to make comments, so there's not that. There is no need for an executive session. I need a motion, however, to pay bills after audit. Are you impressed that after a year I finally remembered?
So moved.
Thank you, Brent. I need a second.
Second.
Thank you, Melcorca. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And I think now I need a motion, the final motion.
I would like to make the final motion to adjourn this evening's meeting.
Thank you. Second.
Aye.
Thank you, Declan. All in favor?
Excuse me.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.